This video is not going to be one of my usual clone reviews or comparisons or that type of video. It's actually going to be a video that, well, a review of a video that just is not something I normally do, but I thought it would be good. And anyway, it's one of the new releases of this year, one of the designer releases. One of the most anticipated designer releases of this year. It comes from a line that has been very successful, very well known, and very popular in the fragrance community. That is YSL Y, the Parfum. So there's been the YSL Y EDT. There was YSL Y Live, which was kind of slightly sweeter version of the original EDT. Then there was Eau de Parfum, which is the most popular, at least in Fragcom. I believe YEDT actually sells more. It's a better seller than the EDP, but the EDP, at least in the fragrance community, is the most hyped one. Then there's Fresh, which is a very kind of higher, it's more lemon, it's more fresh, it's supposed to be more, wear in the summer kind of fragrance, very fresh version of the YSL Y DNA. And now there's the Parfum. So YSL, like every other company this year, decided to make a Parfum version. That is the new trend of one of their current lines, a flanker that is a Parfum version. We've seen it with a ton, from Eros to Mont Blanc Legend. Everybody is coming out with a Parfum. Boss Bottled, Hugo Boss Bottled. Everybody has come out with a Parfum version. Some are good, some are not. Anyway, I'm going to be giving my first thoughts on this. Macy's just got it in. I actually ordered it today. They had a VIP sale going on for anybody interested. It's 15% off. Which isn't a lot, but it helps. Fragrances usually don't go on sale on those discounter sites, so I certainly took advantage of it. I also had a Macy's gift card, so I used that as well. Now, since I had the 15% off sale, I decided to do same-day shipping, which instead of being free, cost $15. But whatever. So I just want to show you, because I think this is comical. This is how it came. I came home from the gym, and this was sitting on my porch. A bag. Okay? With the receipt. It's got the grand total there. I don't even see the discount on here. Oh, interesting. So they didn't even apply the discount when they rang it up. But I wasn't charged the full amount, which tells me if I were shady, I could go return this, get the $153, and pocket the difference. Obviously, I'm not going to. I'm just saying. They didn't ring up what was actually charged to my card, which was much less than $153. So anyway, YSL Y Parfum. I don't normally go into these boxes and, whatever, presentation. It comes in the normal generic black box, batch codes on it. You all already know, nor do you really care. As Big Beard Business says, fuck the box. I don't think any of us really care about the box. Presentation matters somewhat, but not the box itself. Usually it really is just the juice is all I care about. So this is going to be a first impression of the video, obviously. Here is the bottle. It's all black. For anybody who's seen it before, it's a fingerprint magnet from what I've been told. It looks pretty cool though. I like the solid black, even though it's going to be a pain in the ass to keep clean. You can already tell there's fingerprints on there. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, getting into it. I guess I'll pull up the notes just real quick. For those who are curious. Now, something that I had noticed is, again, this was very highly anticipated, but it seems that for whatever reason, it hasn't been as well received. If you go on Fragrantica, EDP's got, of course, it's been out a lot longer, but 4.2 out of 5 rating. This is a 3.9. And from a lot of people I heard, they don't seem to like it as much of the reviews I've seen. Anyway, the notes are top apple, aldehydes, grapefruit and ginger, middle sage, lavender, and geranium, base tonka bean, ledman, and cedar and patchouli. Okay, and now how that differs from the EDP, I'll get to here in a sec. So the normal EDP has, and again, this is the most popular version, at least in FragCom, has apple, bergamot, and ginger. So the top's pretty close. The Parfum has additional grapefruit instead of the bergamot, and it has the aldehydes in it. The mid is almost the same. Both have sage and geranium. The Le Parfum has lavender instead of juniper berries. And the base on the Le Parfum is the tonka bean. The cedar and patchouli. Patchouli is new. The Eau de Parfum, though, has amberwood and vetiver. Now, this is Fragrantica. So, who knows, what notes are, if that's accurate, if it's correct, what notes they leave off, because a lot of times these companies are starting to, it's a newer trend, only list certain notes, the notes they kind of want you to focus on. You'll see some companies that are listing only 3 notes when there's clearly much more that you can get out of the fragrance when you smell it. Those are just kind of what they want you to focus on. Now, I don't think that's the case with this because they have quite a bit of notes listed. But anyway, let's get to the review itself. The fragrance, I imagine, is pretty good. And I do have the EDP that I'm going to compare it to. Okay, immediately you can tell it's not as sweet. You can smell the tonka bean. Kind of has this weird Eros vibe to it. Yeah. It's still sweet, but not as sweet. Yeah. And it also, to me, has less, at least in the opening, of the original DNA. So anybody who smelled the Y EDT, it has this very sweet aquatic smell to it. Now the Eau de Parfum has that as well, but not. It's darker. It's more kind of has like this ambroxan that comes out. Now it's not listed as a note, but it smells like that. Yeah, the opening, it's not as sweet. You smell the tonka. Again, kind of has that, the tonka beans, and, again, it has like almost an Eros vibe or a Marni Code vibe. That kind of, think along those lines. But with the Y DNA. Again, it's not as sweet. I don't think it's going to be as attention grabbing, as mass appealing because of that. But it's also less juvenile, more mature. I think someone older like me would probably prefer the Parfum, at least in the opening. I do like the Eau de Parfum. Don't get me wrong, it's a great fragrance, but I do think it comes off kind of juvenile. Or not juvenile. Don't take that as, I'm not saying like teens, but younger adults, people who aren't old, people who aren't middle-aged, people who aren't 30 plus. I think it starts getting kind of a little, in my opinion, too juvenile. Much the same, and again, wear what you want. Obviously, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with people who are wearing that are older. It's a great smelling fragrance, very mass appealing. It's actually marketed from, towards people. It's not directed just towards younger people. So now the Y Live line is, I think that's supposed to be directed towards a younger generation. But anyway, so it doesn't project as much. It's not out there as much. You know, your scent profile, it's definitely closer to the paper in this sense, probably closer to the skin. As it dries down, the tonka bean kind of fades. It's there, but it smells less like Eros. Again, you can smell the Y DNA. It's just not as prominent. And the grapefruit starts to fade. You can still smell kind of that bubbliness from the ginger. You get that in both of them. You can smell the apple as well. It's just closer. So, are they redundant? Yes, I think they are. I think you should go with one or the other. If you are a fan of YEDP already, you like that it's loud. You like that because it's loud and it performs well. It grabs, attention. Then, stick with the Eau de Parfum. Now, if you just love the Y line, you want to have all of them. I get that too. That's definitely worth picking up. It is not a bad fragrance at all. I'm actually curious. I'm going to spray it on my skin. I've worn the Eau de Parfum for a while now, so I don't really need to do that. But I do want to kind of just see how it smells on skin. Okay, it's definitely sweeter on the skin. Still not as sweet as the Eau de Parfum, but it's sweeter. It does smell darker. It smells more mature, which I guess you kind of would think you would get with the Parfum, so that makes sense. But it is sweet. It is sweet. It's just different. Like, sweet in a different way. It's sweet, again, kind of like Eros and Code. From the tonka bean, that's where I'm really getting that sweetness from. But it's kind of just, it smells darker, heavier, not as bright and, like I said, I don't want to say juvenile, but just darker. It smells great. Honestly, I think it smells definitely, what doesn't smell better off the skin, but it smells way better off the skin. I'm going to have to wear this and really get into the dry down and, see how performance is and how it develops when I'm wearing it. But as of right now, I do think this is my personal favorite from just testing it now. I do like it better than the Eau de Parfum. And that's saying a lot. But I think, again, a lot of that for me is I think I'm too old to wear the EDP. Don't get me wrong, I have worn it. I mean, look at that. Gone through it a lot. But I do at times kind of think it comes off a little too young for me. Especially what I do when I'm an attorney and I'm in a suit. And I just, don't think that works. Now, if I was wearing in the gym or just going out in the summer hanging out, I think that'd be more appropriate. But I think the Parfum I could get away with wearing actually with the suit as well. It smells more mature. It smells more classy. So I like the Parfum better. I do. I also, just the whole Y line I am a fan of. The EDT is really sweet in a, not like sickly sweet, cloyingly sweet, but it's like this, just to me, it's the most aquatic smelling of them all. It smells the freshest too, other than the fresh version. The fresh version, though, takes a different kind of path. You have the normal YSL Y DNA, but then it goes it's got amped up citrus lemon kind of vibe to it. Very refreshing, almost this kind of lemonade vibe. I love that one. Performance isn't the best, but it smells amazing. Performance isn't the best on EDT either. And then the live is good as well. Anybody who's interested in the Y, by the way, Jama Shop, they are legit. Jama Shop, whatever it is. They always have this pretty good deal. I got this for $47, $42 for the 60 ml brand new shipped. And this is in the tester. $42 shipped. So, not bad. This one is kind of almost, people compare it as kind of a combination between the EDP and the EDT, like the two together. I don't know, I kind of get that. This to me is more juvenile Then the EDP. I do prefer the EDP over the Live. The Live to me is sweeter, more kind of I want to get noticed kind of fragrance. Again, not a bad fragrance. It smells good. It's just I think this was specifically marketed to kind of young 20-year-olds and young adults, where the rest of these are as well. I think the whole Y line is, but I prefer the EDP over this. Again, this to me is just it's sweeter, and it's just I don't know. I just don't like it as much. It's been a while since I've smelled it though, so I do want to spray it again. Yeah, it's sweet. You don't get that. Honestly, I don't smell the apple really or anything in the opening that much. It's sweeter, softer, powderier. Yeah. Whereas the Eau de Parfum to me smells a lot better. Honestly, I think the Live almost kind of leans more unisex. Yeah, it's much more powdery and just flatter, not as kind of intriguing and out there. Now, I'm not saying out there. It's called Live for a reason. It's kind of is like a club scent. Again, it's sweet, but it just doesn't have the drawl and the, I guess, uniqueness of the Y EDP. The Eau de Parfum does have this very kind of intriguing, again, like almost like a Broxton vibe to it, which I really do enjoy. But again, yeah, this is going to be my favorite. I will wear it though, and I'll get back with you all on how it develops and everything like that. Again, if you like the Y Live or the Y line, and you're looking for something that's more appropriate for the office or dressed up or for older people, I think this is good. And that's not saying you have to be old to wear this. You could certainly pull this off as a younger adult. Absolutely. But a lot of younger adults gravitate towards the sweeter, more loud fragrances, and to get attention. And this certainly EDP is no slouch at doing that. I think that's probably the best for this if you're just looking for compliments and attention. The Eau de Parfum I think is always going to be the best in that regard. But my personal favorite is this, followed by the EDP right now. Again, I haven't really been able to wear it. Then the EDT, and then honestly probably the Fresh, and then the Live. Live's probably my least favorite of all these. I've only had a decant though of the Fresh. So anyway, that's my first thoughts on it. Like I said, I'll get back with y'all once I've had a chance to actually wear it and had an opportunity to develop more. But it smells good. It does. It does have a code, kind of. Like I said, the tonka bean is going to make you think of Armani Code or Eros. It definitely has that kind of vibe, but it's not as sweet as Eros. It kind of, I guess if it was to remind me of an Eros, it'd be more of the Eau de Parfum. But instead of mint, you have apple. And ginger and the grapefruit. And it's more of a citrus version, kind of like Flame. If Eros Flame had an Eau de Parfum, that's kind of what I think this almost would smell like. Similar to that. But it does have that, it still has that YDNA. So if you like the YDNA, you will like this. You will. I do. I really enjoy this. Actually, I'm going to wear this to work tomorrow. Like I said, I'll get you all a full review when I've had more time to wear it. But right now, I do prefer it over the Eau de Parfum. It's my favorite from the line so far of my first impressions. It's nothing mind-blowing. It's nothing you have to have. You have the Eau de Parfum. So yes, I do think it's redundant, but I do think it's a good release.